All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. So today's meditation is called Finding the Present Moment, a ongoing meditation where we just kind of meditate together to really find the sweet spot of presence. And the way we do that is just for a really nice guided meditation. And then we will implement a little bit of breath work. And once we do the breath work and start to really cultivate this beautiful space and energy within our own body and field around us, we will put on a little bit of music. So, the music that we're going to use today is a natural DMT release meditation that Alkia recommended to me, and I really resonated with it straight away. And let me know if you guys can hear this. Can you guys hear that? So, just a really nice, beautiful ambient sound that once we're in the zone and we're in that deep state of meditation, it'll really amplify and cultivate this really nice presence within ourselves. So that's why please have your headphones. If you don't have headphones, don't worry about it. You don't need headphones, and maybe it's something you can look into getting into in the future if you want to go deeper into the practice. Okay, so before we get practice, what type of breath work are we going to use? Now, there's three different types of breath work that I like to use, and I kind of vary between that you guys might notice. And I really want to just emphasize the three different types just before we get into our practice, so you guys have a better understanding, especially for the beginners. The first one is the balloon breathing. Now, the balloon breathing is very unique to StressFit, and like the name sounds, balloon, it's all about expansion and using your diaphragm to breathe. Now, for many of us, we breathe from the chest, and when we are told to breathe from the diaphragm, initially it can be difficult because we're so conditioned into chest breathing. So I just want everyone to just grab their hand and put it on their belly, especially if you're a beginner to breath work. Taking a deep breath. Let's just do it through the mouth for now. And keep breathing at this tempo. And tell me if you can feel your belly expand. Okay. What we want to do is we want to push our hand forward. So, like a balloon blowing up, we're expanding our diaphragm, we're expanding our chest, we're expanding our shoulders, we're expanding our whole body, starting from our base. Okay. Now, if this is a little bit difficult, it's going to take a little bit of training, and for you to kind of really be conscious and mindful of to breathe deep by pushing the abdominal region out. And you can practice more in your own time if you feel like it's an area that you need to work on. So balloon breathing, we really want to go 2-3 seconds in, 2-3 seconds out, and we do it through the mouth. Why we do it through the mouth is because it's easier to maintain longer durations of breath through the mouth than the nose. That being said, you should have some water and stay hydrated before the practice and maybe during the practice, because if you're not used to this level of breathing, it can get really dry. So balloon breathing looks like this if I were to do it in a continuous flow. Now, Jane's raised a good point. You don't have to contract on the inhalation, we're expanding. On the exhalation, just relax it naturally. For those who want more control, suck your navel into your spine. For those that feel a bit of discomfort on the exhalation by pulling the navel into the spine, just let it relax naturally as if it was just your natural breath. So the longer you exhale, the less CO2 that will be in your body. And if you're not conditioned to minimum levels of CO2, it can feel a little bit overwhelming. And some of the symptoms felt are tingliness. Some people would describe it as feeling a little bit nauseous, but I think it's because they're unfamiliar to this level of feeling, and dizziness. And again, these terms are used because people aren't used to this level of feeling, but we get pretty conditioned to having minimum levels of CO2 pretty quick. The body adapts really quick, and it's amazing what it can do when we can teach our body to survive with minimum levels of CO2. And it's evident in free divers that can dive for 20 minutes with pretty much no levels of CO2 or very minimum levels of CO2. But again, it's something that you explore and you kind of find your own happy rhythm once you get more and more familiar with the breath work. So that's the most easiest way of doing it, is the balloon breathing. And again, I just want to emphasize that nose breathing is the most optimal level of breathing, and it should never be substituted through mouth breathing in your wakeful, or during the day in your wakeful state, or when you're going out throughout your day. Nose breathing is the optimal level of breathing, but for breath work we do mouth only because it's easier to maintain longer durations of breath. The second breath work is the 2-1 breath work. What we do is we expand the belly, and then we breathe into the chest, and then we exhale. So there's 2 counts and 1 count out, and it looks like this. Now, you don't have to go at my tempo. I really want to highlight, please find your own rhythm, and over time you will develop your own style. And the more you do this, the stronger your lungs will get, the stronger your diaphragm will get, and the more horsepower, so to speak, you'll have to start to breathe at this level or your own level. So it's okay if you even breathe like this for the 2-1 breathing. That's perfectly fine for a beginner. The last one is power breathing. So power breathing is a very explosive breath. This is a little bit more advanced, but again, it's something that you may want to explore. And it's done very rapid, where we kind of breathe in as much as we can in a very short amount of time, in 1 second or half a second, and then we exhale very explosively as well, but not too explosively where you're putting discomfort in your abdominal region. So it looks like this. Power breathing we do, and we have to reach high numbers like 100 breaths, 200 breaths at stress fit. Balloon breathing is just a nice relaxed breathing that we do when we're reaching between 10 to 30 breaths. The 2-1 breathing is a great breathing method to find your rhythm, because once you start doing the 30, 40 breaths, you want to kind of find this rhythmic flow. And I find that the sound actually helps me kind of get into a trance. Okay, so I'll go more into that when I do another breathwork session in the following week, probably next week, beginner's guide to breathwork. But today, let's just stick to balloon breathing. If you want to explore the other 2 types of breathing, you guys have a little bit of an understanding on it now. So you're more than welcome to. So the numbers we're going to hit is between 10 to 30. Maybe towards the end we might do 50, but whatever number I say, please do not feel obligated to go to that number. Use whatever you're comfortable with, go to that number, because this is your practice. Be very intuitive. And at any time, if you feel uncomfortable with the breath work, please return back to your natural breath, because you're in full control. So you can opt out at any time, come back to your natural breath. And if you're a beginner, please lay down for your practice, just because that way you're in a more relaxed state and you can just kind of chill out if you kind of feel too overwhelmed from the super oxygenation in the body, because we are flooding the body with a lot of oxygen. And if you're not used to that, then you can feel the effects, which is, again, some people would call it maybe feeling a little bit lightheaded. Thank you for the feedback, Jane. So Elena has been telling me for the last a couple of sessions to really go more in depth with the instructions. So thank you, Elena, for the heads up. Only because sometimes I kind of get too excited and I just want to jump straight into the practice. So I am more mindful now to really break it down. And thank you guys for helping me evolve as an instructor as well. Okay, so that being said, guys, if there's any questions, if you have any conditions that you feel might onset, like blood sugar conditions, don't do the breath work, because that might onset your blood sugar or hypoglycemia. If you have anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, just go to a very easy breath. Just because you see me breathing at that tempo, please do not do that. Find your own rhythm. This is your own practice, and over time, you will develop your own style. Okay, thank you, Aisha. All right, so there is a slave way to breathe. Look, if you have hypoglycemia, I just think that if you've already got low blood sugar levels, I've had this in the past where this lady already had a low blood sugar levels, or she was diabetic, and the breath work really onset the hypoglycemia, and she got a little bit like super lightheaded. So I'm very mindful that if anyone has blood sugar issues, to please just take it super easy, because breathing like this, I feel and I'm very confident it's perfectly fine. Anyone can breathe like this. When you start going, this is a whole different level. And if you've got any sort of condition that this might unset you feel like hypoglycemia, please do not do it at that tempo. For stress and anxiety, breathwork is amazing. Still, it is absolutely amazing with stress and anxiety. So I would encourage you to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the breathwork, because breathwork is an anxiety killer, because it is a direct connection to our nervous system. Now, why breathwork? Breathwork because it is the access to your nervous system. Your nervous system is everything. Your nervous system determines on how you show up to the world. So if your nervous system is hyperactive, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be stressed, and that energy is going to be projected to others, to the world, to your environment. Everyone's going to feel that unsettled energy. If your nervous system is relaxed and you're calm and you're focused, you're more connected to the natural to your natural presence. And when you're more connected to your natural presence, it cultivates the emotions of joy, harmony, enthusiasm, happiness, all these really beautiful emotions and energies and frequencies that stem off the energy of love, because your nervous system is calm. You're in a more relaxed, open state. Your channels are open, and it's easier to cultivate loving energies in the body. Nervous system reflects your health. It reflects how your immune system is supported and how you process information. And the bottom line is your cognitive abilities, the way you function, the way you process your environment, is all based on how active or hyperactive or balanced your nervous system is. So that's my reason on why breath work. The main reason. There's another 1,000 reasons that we can go into in another session, beginner's guide to breath work, but for me that's more than enough to connect to my nervous system. That being said, let's get ready for our practice. The practice will probably go for around 40 minutes, and there's going to be some cool music and all that kind of stuff, and we will have a really good practice. So before we start our practice, let's get an intention. Let's always set an intention before the practice. My intention is to connect with my divine self. So I'm really going to really make an effort to connect with the energy, the animation, my soul, my spirit, however you want to look at it. But the divinity, the spark, the energetic force that's within me. So when I open myself up and I transcend my ego analytical mind and I let go and unplug from my world, I can access and introspect this beautiful state of energy that's within me, within you, within all beautiful human beings. And that is such a beautiful energy to cultivate. So that will be my intention. So whatever your intention is, let's get that intention in our mind, so then we know what we want to really achieve from our practice, and get comfortable. So I'm just going to pull my chair back and just make sure I'm sitting upright. Now I will. Do you guys prefer to hear me breathing, or do you prefer the music to be louder, like this? Sorry. So you guys can hear me breathing like, or I can put the music right up. Music louder, okay. Because I know some people prefer. I might do a balance. Uh, yeah, I might do a balance of just this. All right, I'll do a balance where you can hear me subtly in the background if you listen close enough, and but not too loud where it affects your practice. All right, guys. So let's get ready for our practice. I invite everyone to find a comfortable position for their practice. And if you're sitting up, head, neck, and shoulders in one straight line, maintaining a nice erect spinal column. placing your hands on your knees in a mudra of your choice, or palms facing up if you wish to lay down for this practice. Let's just take a moment to be in our breath. Let's take a moment to be in our body and just to sit here silently and see and feel and observe what sensations we can notice. And slowly your breath will start to take over. So we'll notice our breathing. So we'll start by breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. So we start to take control over our breath and bring consciousness into the act of breathing. Just be aware of each breath and start to take control over the breath by trying to make each breath longer than your last breath. And each time you exhale, let something go and really allow your body to become lighter with each exhale. And start to notice the sensations in the body. Can you feel anything different in the body once you really start to focus on the breath? Notice how your body is feeling. What can you feel in the body? Let's really slow down our breathing. And listen to the sound of your breath. Allow this beautiful mantra of the breath to take you deeper into your body's intelligence through feeling and awareness of the sensations in the body with each breath. Now we're going to go into our first round of breath work, and we're going to do 15 balloon breaths in 3, 2, 1. And after the last breath, focus your attention inside the body. What can you notice different in the sensations starting to surface in the body? Can you notice your presence starting to radiate? A slight shift in the body's frequency. Can you sense a calmness starting to soothe the body? And introspect all your attention inside the body, letting go of the outside world, giving the mind a vacation for this practice, and setting the intention to immerse your energy inside the body. And start to notice your natural breath once again. Do not disturb or interrupt the natural flow of your breath. Just observe it from a level of witnessing and allow the breath to take you into a deeper state of relaxation. And with each exhale, you sink deeper and deeper into this practice, giving yourself the time to really disconnect from the noisiness of the outside world, to embrace the peacefulness within your own presence. So for the next round, we're going to do 3 rounds of 30 breaths. Now I'm going to put the music on, and I really want you guys to take your time and go at your own pace and maybe explore the different types of breath work And within each space or round of breathing, open yourself to the music and allow the sounds to move through your body. Take your time and really stay open to this experience. So we start in three, two, one. connect even deeper into this beautiful energy that we have cultivated through the breath work by bringing our focus back to our natural breath and allowing the sound of the breath to take us deeper and deeper into this beautiful state. Stay in a state of observation, purely observing each breath and being aware of the presence in the body. Stay in this feeling. Thoughts might audition for your attention. Just be aware of thoughts passing by. Observe this phenomena and just keep your attention in the body. Allow this experience to move through the body. Without trying to change anything at all. Stay open. Create spaciousness and just observe. Be with each breath, one breath at a time, and immerse your attention inside the body's wisdom through feeling and sensation. Scan your body from head to toe and feel the energy radiate outside into your space. Search the most radiant areas you feel the most vibration in the body and spread this vibration throughout the whole body. And with each breath, feel the body's energy start to raise. Feel your vibration start to raise. When we connect with the body's energy, we connect with our mana, our spiritual strength. Stay connected to your source. Do not allow the noise of the mind interfere with this connection. Simply allow it to be without focusing any attention into your thought process. Keep your attention inside the body. Now we're going to go into one final round of breath work. For this final round, we'll go to 50 breaths at your own pace. You don't have to go to this number of breaths. You may just want to do whatever you're comfortable with and break it down into whatever ratio you wish. And after the 50 breaths, surrender to the music, listen to the sound of the breath, and allow your attention to go deep into the feeling inside the body. In 3, 2, 1. And slowly start to bring your attention back into your space. And through the breath, start to take in some easy breaths. And at the end of each breath, pause and embrace the stillness for a moment. And just feel the space around you. Feel the space between your thoughts. Feel the space between my words. Embrace this space. And allow the body to be light. Just letting go, surrendering to this moment. No resistance, no identification. Complete acceptance of this now moment. And slowly coming back into this live session. So start to wiggle your toes and just move your hands and even sway left to right. Just bringing your awareness back into the body. And taking your time slowly when you are ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you guys for tuning in to another session called Finding the Present Moment. That last round was pretty powerful. It really got me, to be honest. I went pretty deep into that last round of 50 breaths. That was the one that really catapulted me into the present moment. I hope you guys really were able to feel the presence and just disconnect from the outside world and really embrace your inside world. It's so essential to really go within. You know, the saying goes, unless you go within, you go without. Thank you for the great feedback, guys. Really glad you guys enjoyed the session. Thanks, Judith. Thanks, Jane. Thanks, Elena. Thank you, Akia. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Tanya. It's a really nice session for just to, kind of unwind and just, again, it's so important to battle stress through meditation and breath work. It really is the most potent way to liberate unsettled energy from the body and promote the body to come back into homeostasis or balance. When we can really intensify our focus and feel the body's vibration, so many beautiful, amazing, powerful things happen in the body. Not only do different systems in the body start to synchronize, the default mode networks in the brain start to shut off, which are the networks responsible for all the chit chatter in the brain, start to activate the higher regions in the brain. There's more activity in the frontal lobe. And this relaxation really starts to calm the nervous system, allowing you to just connect with what is, the present moment, just a natural alignment with the natural flow of this sacred now moment. And it's a beautiful thing to embrace just the breath and enjoy doing it, just sitting here silently, peacefully in our own body with our breath without any stimulation from social media, just listening to a nice guided meditation. And we meditated for around 40 minutes. So I think that was a good amount of time. Went really fast for me, to be honest. The 40 minutes didn't seem like 40 minutes at all. So yeah, it was definitely 40 minutes. They showed it went really fast, which is a great thing. It means it's alchemy, like we transcended time. If you're waiting for someone, time 40 minutes can seem like a lifetime. But when you get into this meditative state and transcend time, you become timeless. There is no psychological time. It's almost this quantum state, as we've learned. And when we enter this state, you connect with your source, you connect with the higher energies, allowing higher energies to move through the body. A really nice connection with the beautiful, energy of presence, your inner presence. So thank you guys for being here meditating collectively. I'll be back Sunday to cover chapter 3 of Vaster Than Space, Vaster Than Sky, Greater Than Space. Just an amazing book that we've been covering, and just going deeper into the teachings of Muji. And next week we'll be doing 4 or 5 lives again. I think I've got a live next week on emotional freedom. I saw Pina make a comment on that. I'll just end this live session. A friend of mine said to me today, he said, because at work, I run a building company, and at the moment, there's just a lot of opportunities and abundance and a lot of prosperity that's happening with the company. And, I use everything I teach, I really try my best to apply in my everyday life, from just, embracing the energy and really connecting to the field. I try and act as if I'm already there. I move into the space I want to attract, and I try to really feel myself become magnetized so I can go out there and really attract these situations, experiences, people. And I'm in a very good place in life, and there's absolutely no complaints. And I know it's an energy thing for me. When my energy is right, my life is a reflection of that, because my energy in here, creation happens from within. So when you can create and cultivate this beautiful state of energy in your own body, that's going to ripple out and really affect and create experiences that represent this internal state. And the gravitational pull from this energy that you're broadcasting, this signature frequency of broadcasting, will be reflective to what vibration you're putting out there. So if we're in a vibration of love, then more loving experiences come our way. If we're in a vibration of abundance, more abundance comes our way. If we're in a vibration of fear and we're acting from a place of lack, then we're going to be more focused on experiences that kind of promote this state of lack in our body. And my friend goes to me today, he goes, I know why yet all these good things are happening in your life. It's through your meditation, and you're connected to this source. And because you're connected with this source, this universal power, all these amazing things happen to you at work and in your life. And he goes, I need to tap into that. And I really liked it. I mean, it wasn't an ego thing. I mean, yeah, I guess my ego liked hearing it as well. But it really also validated that, whether he was a conduit for, information that kind of, you know, supports me being on this path, or whether it was just a nice act of observation, it really did solidify for me, and this being my placebo, is that when you're connected to source, when you're connected to your essence, when you're connected to this universal power, and again, you can't measure it through the instruments, physical instruments. It's something that has to be felt. It's something that is innate within yourself. And when you can connect with this sourceful energy and really find the abundance and completion and this spiritual power, this mana, that I always use this word mana, it's a Polynesian word for spiritual strength. I truly believe that your life starts to change, and you have to be proactive with life. You can't just sit there and expect your environment to change when you're not going out there and living. Because once you go out there and you start living and you start to kind of flirt with life, um, it just starts to change. It starts to mold. It starts to shape shift in ways that really complement what you're projecting out there into the world. Um, yeah, that's right, Shane. So I just really do encourage you guys, if you are feeling a little bit of lack, if you are in a, feeling like you're not connected, or there isn't enough presence or happiness or any sort of fear in your life, to stay on the path, to stay persistent, and be very religious with your practice. Wake up every morning, and we've got a 30-day challenge in our stress fit community and circle that really helps cultivate the power of manifestation vibration, using affirmations and all the amazing teachings and philosophies from some of the most amazing teachers out there today. So really, really just a nice message to stay on the path, stay connected, and no matter how hard it gets, don't stop believing in yourself, because the moment you stop believing in yourself, I think that's when you start to really zap your energy. And remember, everything passes, and those who can smile in moments where there's a lot of unsettledness are ones that will triumph quicker and really flick that chapter onto a more vibrant experience in life. So, we all fall, and I've fallen so many times off the bandwagon, but it's how fast we get back up and jump back on path. And I think that the more we can cultivate these beautiful energies in the body and practice elevated emotions, and really give ourselves love attacks opposed to panic attacks, we really start to reprogram the body to always be in this loving vibrational state. And it also starts by just loving those around you, just loving those around, loving your family, loving your friends, telling people you love them, just really expressing I love you, and not being afraid to express love. Because for a lot of us, we love people, but do we tell them we love them? And I think people love hearing that as well. People love hearing you express love and being vulnerable. So when you can start loving people around you and expressing that, it all comes back. It all comes back, So really, don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. Tell your mum you love her. Tell your dad. Tell your dog. Tell your neighbor. Just spread love. Spread love, because that's what it's about. It's about love attracts love. Absolutely, and that's what it is. Just put it out there, and the universe will give it back to you. Lisa says me to ask her something always seems to pull you back up. Absolutely, absolutely, and it's love. It's love, and most importantly, love yourself. Laugh at yourself, love yourself, talk to yourself, sing in the shower, and just be unapologetically you. And I think that's the most important thing, is just to be unapologetically you, and the world will adjust. And when you don't care what other people think, then that's the best space to be in. Because if you worry about people's opinions, you become their prisoner. If you don't care what people think, this is your playground, this is your journey, this is your process, this is your this is your earth experience. So just go out there and just be you, and don't care what people think. And when you're at that space, I think it's such a beautiful space to be in, because that's when you've really connected to a part of yourself that isn't influenced by the outside. It's so deep, it's so pure, it's so potent. It doesn't matter. There's a saying, what while the fools laugh, the wise man understands. So let them laugh, because at the end of the day, this is your journey, it's your process. What matters is your opinion on yourself, and the self-love you have for yourself. And be kind to yourself. Look in the mirror and be kind. If you're trying to lose weight, give yourself motivation that you're doing a great job, and tomorrow's going to be a better day. If you're trying to gain weight, you have to be kind to yourself. If you're not kind to yourself, then others won't be kind to you. So just be kind to yourself, and always kill them with kindness. People are always going to throw negative energy our way, and you know what I say to that? People can only give you what they have. If they have misery, they're miserable. They'll give you misery. If they have negativity, they'll give you negativity. And I show compassion to people like that, because they need it the most. Because whatever they've gone through in life, they don't have the capacity to show you love. So I wish them all the best, and it might take them 1,000 lifetimes to vibrate in love and cultivate that frequency. But that's okay, because we're all on our own path. So and we got to respect everyone else's path. Thank you, guys. Thank you for it's the breath work that always gets me into such a beautiful state that I feel a little bit inspired to share some great insights that's helped me in my time, just to be a better person. I think it's the effort we put in today that gives us the results tomorrow. It's the effort we put in today. So the more effort you put into being a loving person, then tomorrow, the universe will show you those results, and you'll bear those fruits. But and one thing I always try to do is go to bed feeling abundance, go to bed feeling grateful. Because if you can pray every night, and prayer is a very form of meditation, and just say thank you for everything. Thank you for your day. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for, if you say that and you don't wake up the next day, you have no regrets, because you don't want to transcend and have any regrets. So pray every night and just be grateful and just get it, all that energy out, get it out, write it, yell it, scream it, pray it, just get it out of your system. So when you go to bed, you've just you've got it all out and you're ready to wake up the next day and get excited about the next day, and always try and uplift as many people as you can, because when we uplift others, we uplift ourselves. And I think that we feel better when we're helping others. I truly do feel that it's an innate response, and I think that eventually everyone will get to a point in their lives where they want to help others. And when you are helping others, whether it's through a conversation, through your presence, through charity, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes just being present and listening is helping someone, just being an ear. um, Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for giving me a platform to express, and thank you for today's class. I'll see everyone back here Sunday for another class. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. And I will just end the recording now, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, guys.